Good morning, students. Today we will learn about classification of plants. Lesson number 6 from Science and Technology, part 2. In the earlier standard, you have already studied the classification of plants. In that, you have discussed about the Whittaker's 5 kingdom classification system. And you have learned that the living organisms classified by Robert Whittaker into groups, that is prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Prokaryotic organisms are the organisms which are having less developed nucleus. That means nucleus is without nuclear membrane and the organelles. Whereas eukaryotic organisms are the organisms which are having highly developed nucleus, that is with nuclear membrane and organelles. Later on, these prokaryotes, they are grouped into Monera group, whereas eukaryotic organisms, they are again classified into two, that is unicellular and multicellular. Unicellular organisms having body made up of single cell, whereas multicellular organisms having body made up of many cells. These multicellular organisms later on classified into two groups, that is organisms with cell wall and organisms without cell wall. Organisms with cell wall, they are again classified into two groups, that is autotrophs and heterotrophs. Autotrophs are the organisms which are able to synthesize their food. For example, all green plants, they are autotrophs. Heterotrophs are the organisms which depend on other organisms for their food. For example, the fungi. As they do not have chlorophyll, they are not able to synthesize their food. So in that way, multicellular organisms, they are autotrophs and heterotrophs. Without cell wall organisms are the animals, or they are grouped in the group that is a animalia. Now you tell me, what is classification? You have learned about the classification, you know the concept of classification. Then tell me, what is classification? Yes, classification is the arrangement of plants in different smaller groups on the basis of similarities and differences they show. Is that correct? Now see, what is the need of classification? You have studied the diversity. Diversity, that means the differences among the living organisms present in the surrounding. For example, huge number of plants present in the surrounding, and they show diversity with respect to various factors. For example, size. Few plants, they are very small in size, or they may be microscopic. For example, algae, etc. Few are having very large size. For example, banyan tree. They also show difference with respect to color, because few plants, they are green in color due to chlorophyll, whereas few plants, they are non-green. Okay, so in that way there is a variety present in the plants. They show diversity with respect to habitat also. Few plants are terrestrial, they grow on land. Few are hydrophytes, they grow in water. Some are aerial, some are insectivorous. So a diversity present among the plants. And if you want to study these plants systematically and scientifically, it is convenient to study the organisms or plants by arranging them in different smaller groups. That means with the help of classification. And hence the classification is essential. Now we will study plant tea kingdom in detail. Now this plant tea, first of all, it is classified by scientist Eclair in 1883. This kingdom plant tea, it divides into two sub-kingdom. Plant tea is the kingdom. Okay. This kingdom, it is divided into two sub-kingdom, that is the cryptogams and phanerogams. Now, the factor on which basis the plants are classified, that is known as the basis of classification. Now, this cryptogams and phanerogams, this classification is on the basis of presence or absence of flowers. For example, cryptogams, they are the plants which do not produce flowers, whereas phanerogams are the plants which produce flowers. So this classification is on the basis of presence or absence of flowers. Now these cryptogams, they are again classified into three divisions: Thallophyta, Bryophyta and Pteridophyta. Now Thallophyta, the group include the plants which are having thallus body. Now what is meant by thallus body? When the plant body is not differentiated as root, stem and leaves, that type of plant body that is known as a thallus body. And the plants, they are known as thallophytes, which are included in the division that is the thallophyta. For example, algae, fungus, they are having thread-like structures or thread-like body, filamentous body. So that is a thallus body. So this is about the thallophyta. The next division, that is the bryophyta. Now what is the characteristic property of the bryophyta? Bryophytes, they do not possess true leaves or true roots or true stem. Instead, they are having leaf-like structures and they are having rhizoids instead of fruits. So this is the character on which basis they are grouped in the division that is known as a bryophyta. Now the next division, that is the pteridophyta. Pteridophyta are the plants which are vascular plants. Now vascular and non-vascular. This division is on the basis of presence or absence of vascular tissue. What are the vascular tissues? Xylem and phloem are the vascular tissues. Xylem is a specialized tissue which conducts the water, whereas phloem is the conducting tissue which conducts the food. So these xylem and phloem, they are present in the pteridophyta, so they are vascular plants. On the other hand, thallophytes, they do not possess vascular bundles, so they are non-vascular plants. So this is also one of the basis of classification. These pterophytes, they are having vascular bundles or vascular tissue, and hence they are vascular plants, but they do not produce flowers. So these plants are known as the pteridophytes. For example, Selaginella, Lycopodium, these are the examples of the pteridophyta. This is about the subkingdom cryptogams. Now the secondly, that is the phanerogams. Phanerogams are the plants which produces flowers. Now these phanerogams, they are divided into two divisions, that is a gymnosperms and angiosperms. Now what is meant by gymnosperms? Gymnosperms are the plants which are having naked seeds, whereas angiosperms are the plants which are having seeds within the fruit. So on the basis of whether the seeds are naked or they are covered in fruit, there is a classification of plant, that is the gymnosperms and angiosperms. The example of gymnosperm, that is a cycas plant, whereas all the flowering plants, they comes in angiosperm, that is we can say hibiscus. Now these angiosperms, they are again divided into two groups, that is a monocot and dicot. Now monocot are the plants which are having single quartile in their seed, whereas dicots are the plants which are having two quartiles in their seed. Now if you have seen the groundnut seed, you may know that this groundnut, it is divided into two parts. That two parts are the quartiles. Okay, and as it is having two quartiles, that is comes under dicot. Whereas if you have seen the jawar, makkah or maize or rice or bajra, you know that the seed is not divided into two parts. That means they are having single quartile. So the plants which are having single quartile in their seed, they are grouped into monocot. So in that way, the plantic kingdom, it is classified by clade. Now we'll see the differences among the monocots and dicots. Now first point we'll see, that is a venation. Now what is meant by venation? Venation is the arrangement of veins on the surface of the leaf. For example, if you see this leaf, okay, now there is a arrangement of veins on this surface of leaf. Such type of arrangement of veins on the surface of the leaves, that is known as a venation. If you see the monocot plants, in monocot plants you will observe that this is a monocot plant, this is a leaf. Now in this leaf, this is the posterior side, this is the main vein, and all the another veins, they are parallel to that main vein. Such type of arrangement of veins, that is known as a parallel venation. For example, if suppose this is a leaf, this is the main vein, these are the another veins which are parallel to this. Such type of venation, that is a parallel venation. This is a characteristic property of the monocots. Secondly, if you see the dicot leaf, okay, you will observe that there is a main vein. See, these yellow color veins. So there is one primary vein. Veins again arises from the primary veins. They are known as the secondary veins. Again the veins arises from the secondary veins, and in that way they form a network on the surface of the leaf. That type of venation, that is known as a reticulate venation. For example, if you see, this is the leaf, this is the main vein, these are the secondary veins. Again the veins arise from the secondary veins. So the network is formed on the surface of the leaf. Such type of venation, that is known as a reticulate venation, and this is the characteristic property of the dicot. So on the basis of reticulate and parallel venation, the angiosperms, they are divided into two groups, that is monocot and dicot. Now see, second important thing, if you see the root of the monocot plant, you will observe that the root arises from any part of the stem. Have you seen the jawar plant or maize plant? Okay. Now see, if suppose this is the stem. So root arises from any part of the stem. Such type of root system, that is known as a adventitious root system, or these roots are also known as a fibrous roots. Okay, so such type of thread like roots, they are arises from any part of the stem in case of monocots. If you see the root of the dicot, you will observe that in case of dicot, the root is somewhat different type. There is a one main root which arises from the radicle. Then there are secondary roots. Okay, and again the roots arises from the secondary roots, and in that way a strong root system is formed. That type of root system, that is known as a taproot system, and that type of root is known as a taproot. In Marathi it is known as a sotroot. That is a agantuk mule, that is a adventitious root. Okay, so this is a characteristic property of the dicot, that is a presence of taproot. One more difference is, if you see the stem of the monocot, you will observe that the stem of the monocot, it is a delicate, it is green in color. Okay, it is hollow inside. That is the characteristic property of the monocot. Whereas in case of dicot, the stem is woody, hard. That is also one of the difference between monocot and dicot. One more important thing, the flowers in case of monocot, they are trimerous. Okay, 3 parts, that is a trimerous. In case of dicots, the flowers, they are either tetramerous or pentamerous. Tetramerous having 4 parts, pentamerous, that is having 5 parts. So in that way, the plantae kingdom, it is classified by scientist Eclair. Now the next part we'll see in next period. Today we'll stop. Thank you.